Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Dante Massimino, and in this video we're going to be talking about the 3D Fillet and 3D Chamfer commands of AutoCAD 2017. Now Fillet is a command that lets you take an edge like this and create a curve out of it. Fillet can be found here in the Modify section of the ribbon or accessed by typing FIL into the command bar. Now in order to use 3D Fillet, you need to select an edge. Before we get to that, I'd like to talk about some of the Fillet commands. As you can see, there is U for undo, which simply undoes the last fillet that you've done. P for polyline, which in 3D has no effect because it only works on a 2D polyline. Polyline is this command here, which lets you create several lines all connected as one object, and it fillets every single joint in that line in one shot. The radius command, which in 3D polyline I believe is redundant because it asks you to pick the radius as soon as you select the edge. T for trim, which again is redundant in 3D polyline because it only works for 2D polylines, since that decides whether or not it will delete the lines once you've created the fillet. And M for multiple, which again redundant in 3D because it defaults to multiple. Now to create a fillet, we have to pick the edge that we'd like to fillet. So I'll take that edge there, then it asks for the radius, which you can enter as a number, or E as an expression. So you could do E for 1 plus 2 minus 3, something along those lines. But for this one, I'll just do a radius of 2. And now I select the edges that I'd like to fillet. So this one's already selected, so we'll fillet one more, this edge. There you have it, 2 fillets, just like that. Now there are other commands you can use for fillet that are similarly useful. So we'll pick our edge again, so that one. Pick our radius of 2. Now you see the chain command here. Also there's the radius command for changing the radius right in the middle of it, but 2 is fine. The chain command, what that does is if you pick a line that flows neatly into a curve, such as this one or that one, when you select the edge with chain activated, it will select the entire line and curve all at once, as such. And then when you say enter, it'll do them both separately, but as the same fillet. And if I had a fillet there, it would have done the same. Additionally, there's a fillet command, so fill. There's a fillet command, if we select here, known as loop. And if you pick loop, what that does is, it gives you this menu, next, and then when you accept, it'll do, oops, the radius was too large for that. We'll do 1. So with loop, it can go all the way around the top of an object, all in one shot. As long as you make sure that you've selected the right spot. Whoops. And there you have it. It goes all the way around, all in one fillet. Now one last quick note about chain. After you've selected chain, to do this entire thing all at once, if you decide that you actually want to go back and just do the edge, then you can hit E for edge, which will take you back to edge, and the same thing applies for loop, just like that. Next up, I'd like to talk about the chamfer command. What chamfer does is it creates an angle between two faces, destroying an edge. So our options are U for undo, which will undo your previous chamfers, obviously. P for polyline, which, like fillet, can't be used on 3D. D for distance and A for angle, both of which are redundant because you have to set that when you decide it here in 3D anyway. T for trim, which again is only for 2D. E for method, which is only for 2D because it lets you choose between distance and angle, but angle actually can't be used in 3D. And M for multiple, which is again redundant because it's by default allows you to choose multiple. So our only real option is to select the thing that we'd like to chamfer. And then when you a difference between 3D and 2D is that you have to pick a face to serve as the base face for your chamfer. So this face is fine, but if I wanted, say, this face, then I'd have to hit next. And it'll find all the faces that are on this edge here to serve as the base. But that's not the one we want. We want this face. Okay, so again, like fillet, you can set the radius or the base chamfer distance manually, or you can enter an expression. Now the base chamfer distance is the distance from this edge along the base face. So we'll do halfway down, so we'll do 1. And then you must specify the other surface chamfer distance, so from this edge along whatever surface you're going to be selecting. So I'm going to be picking this edge here, so the other surface is going to be that one. So I'll say 2. So I'll select our edge. Come on. I think it's selected all of them already. No, it's just that one. Okay, so I did select that edge correctly. And as you can see here, I've created a chamfer that is 1 inch down and 2 inches long. Also, there is the loop command, much like Fillet. So we pick our chamfer, we click on this thing, we decide what face we're going to use as the base, this one. We say OK. We specify the base distance, so 1. We specify our other surface, we can do 2. 2 would work. And then we pick our edge. No, we hit L for loop, and again you can hit E to switch back to edge if you so desire, but I don't. So I've selected the loop, and I hit enter, and as you can see, it is chamfered all the way around. Alright everyone, thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and be sure to tune in for the next one.